Hello my lovely friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Georgi and you're watching Just Shake or Steer, and as usual, Sunday, it's time for a lovely cocktail. So this Sunday it's no exception. I'm going to prepare something really nice for the season because literally officially we are in the autumn-winter season proper. And this is mean we can call for some nice warming sips. So we can keep it nice and cozy, okay? Today cocktail with something which I found on the defaults guide, and this is coming from kind of a request from one of my subscribers. He actually, I presume it's he actually asked about why I don't say where I found the cocktail recipes or give a little bit more information if it's my personal recipe. So it's a good point. So from today going forward, we're gonna announce every time where we found the recipe, or if we created, or where the inspiration came from. So this recipe was found on the defaults guide. The original recipe, it's called Orchard View. However, I'm changing it today. So in this in mind, I can call it Orchard View. So I pick a new name, which is very simple, Night Orchard. Yeah. It may not sound very exciting, but the cocktail is amazing. It's very warming and wonderful for the season. I've changed two of the ingredients, so if you want to see the original recipe, make sure you go to defaultsguide.com and look for the Orchard View. But if not, just stick with this recipe, whatever you decide. Now, before I show you the ingredients and make the cocktail, I want to share with you very exciting news for me, and I hope for you. So if you can be bothered to listen about this news, check the timetable in the description and just jump to the cocktail recipe. But if you want to hear, just stick around. A few videos ago I mentioned we partner with Master of Malt, and this is exciting as it is, and it's going to bring so much to the channel. However, we had another conversation, and if you remember, if you're one of my old subscribers, I used to do a series on Monday which I called simply Monday Dram, okay? So we decided to bring this series back from December, but this time we're gonna call it Monday Dram with Master of Malt because they will be sponsoring this series. So if you have anything in mind which you wanna kind of learn more about it as a spirit, make sure you drop me comment in this video. I will remind you again in other videos. And of course, I'm gonna be posting on the community tab so you can give your suggestions. For those of you who are new to the channel and never watched the Monday Dram, it's very simple format. So we pick one spirit or a liqueur or a vermouth, anything from the back shelf, and we talk about the production, the tasting notes, the palettes, the history of the drink, of the spirit, not the drink, the history of the spirit, and just basically give you more information about the brand and the actual spirit before I use it in some of the cocktails down the line. Okay, so Monday Drams with Master of Malt coming back from December, and I'll be asking you for some suggestions. Also, as you can see, I'm alone, and this is gonna be for a while until we figure out with Niamh how we can have the same days off so we can film together. But don't you worry, she's coming back. It's just November. It's a very difficult month for us. And I want to explain why. First of all, when you watch this video, I'll be already landing in Athens for the Athens Bar Show. And if you miss my announcement, I'm going to compete on the finals for Glassology by Onis. Glassology by Onis, it's a competition which is created for bartenders. And the idea is very simple. There's no rules, there's only one rule. We need to create a new iconic glass design which Onis will produce and obviously spread it worldwide in bars all over the world. So from 500 contestants, I managed to go to the semi-final with another 23 wonderful people, so it was 24 on the semi-finals. And from there, 6 of us was picked for the final. So it's been a 5 months competition involving learnings and a lot of new stuff for us, because one thing is to make cocktail, another thing is to designing a glass. Of course, it's strictly confidential still. We can't show any of the designs, but I will be sharing a lot and as much I can on my Instagram account. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see more what's happening in the Athens Bar Show. Then end of November, Niamh is going to Monaco to compete in the Young Mixologist World Final, because she won the UK hats here as a Young Mixologist UK #1.
Hello, my name is Niamh Preedy and I won the Mixologist category for England.
So she's going to the World Final end of November. As you can see, busy month for us to prepare for different competitions, but we'll be back together, okay? So, I think that's everything what I wanted to say. So if you're ready for some shakes, stirrs and sips, my lovely friends, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. But let's go see now what is my ingredients for the night torture. Okay, the night orchard, as I mentioned, it's based on a cocktail I found on the Defor's Guide, which is Orchard View. In the original recipe, the cocktail is based on Calvados, so we're gonna use today Avallen Calvados. But in the original recipe, Orchard View, it's used rye whiskey, and today I'm replacing it with something different to make it more suitable for the season, in my opinion. But if you prefer the rye whiskey, make sure you check the original recipe. Today we're going to use Xante, which is a pear liqueur based on cognac. So we're going to have apples and pears so far. Then we're going to use a little bit of herbal note here with the wonderful Benedictine, of course. Then the next ingredient, it's a vermouth, like a sweet vermouth, but mine it's infused with the coffee, just to bring this wonderful warmness from the coffee, okay? We need a Peychaud bitters or any Creole bitters if you have, and finally an Angostura Aromatic Bitters. So this is the ingredients. Everything shout proper autumn and winter season, but I'll leave the judge for this to be you, my audience, and hopefully if you make the cocktail, you'll let me know how you feel about it. Again, don't forget, go to Defor's Guide, type in the search bar Orchard View if you want to make the recipe with a rye whiskey. It's entirely up to you. So the cocktail is stirred, and of course you're gonna need your mixing glass, and we're gonna start with the Calvados, which is 30 ml or 1 ounce. Then the next ingredient is gonna be the Xante, the pear and cognac liqueur, which is only 20 ml, or this is 2/3 of the ounce. There we go. Same amount, 20 ml or 2/3 of the ounce of your Vermouth Rosso, or in my case, the coffee infused Vermouth Rosso. You can use Vermouth de Turino, you can use Antica formula, any sweet red vermouth you like. You don't have to infuse it with coffee, but if you want to try this kind of a version, you can infuse it. Very simple, just maybe if you don't want to infuse the full bottle, just get 200 ml or 300 ml, crack some coffee beans, around like a handful, put it in the bottle, leave it to infuse for 12 to 24 hours, strain it, and you're gonna have a wonderful coffee infused vermouth, okay? So Benedictine, it's only 5 ml, or in this case I'm gonna use just a bar spoon and just a little bit over. So it's nothing wrong to go a little bit over. It's gonna bring this wonderful herbal and honey notes in the cocktail. Coming to the bitters, 2 good dashes of the Peychaud bitter, or as I mentioned, any other Creole bitter, and 2 dashes of Angostura Aromatic Bitter. Now, here I'm using Japanese dashers, so it's gonna be 4 dashes because this is only half dash, yeah? So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 2 dashes. And we are ready to stir. Now I need some ice. Put some ice in your mixing glass, of course. And while I'm stirring, don't forget, you can always hit this subscribe button if you're new to the channel, or the like button if you like what you see. And again, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Just Shake or Stir, if you want to know more about what's happening in Athens Bar Show, because I'll be there for 4 days. So I'm gonna share as much possible for you. And I'm going to win this competition. I mean, there's no other reason for me going there, apart from having a nice time on the Athens Bar Show as well. So give it a good stir. There you go. Woohoo. Happy with that? Now grab your glass of choice. In my case, I'm using this rock glass, which is absolutely wonderful. And I'm gonna use my hands just to put the ice. Now, if you have the possibility to have a big chunk of ice, use a big chunk of ice. If not, just put 4 or 5 good cubes of ice in your glass, because it needs to be served over ice, not just a few cubes. And strain your cocktail. Beautiful. Finally, again, I'm gonna mention the original recipe suggests to be served with a lemon coin on the top, but since we have the pear and cognac brandy and apples, I decide just to serve it with a nice slice of fresh pear. And this, my friends, is the wonderful Night Orchard. Cheers! Beautiful. Ooh. Warm. You have the kick from the Calvados. Don't think kind of oh, because the rye whiskey is gone and I have all these kind of liqueurs. It's not a boozy cocktail. Yes, it is boozy cocktail, but it's full of flavor. You have apples, you have pears, you have the herbal notes coming from the Benedictine, and of course the bitter mix from the Peychaud and the Angostura bitter makes wonderful drink. Now the coffee infused vermouth, it brings some sweetness, but also bring this slight coffee taste on the back end, and it's just delicious. So my friends, this is it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you stick till the end. Don't forget, from December we're coming back with Monday's Dram with Master of Malt. So I'll be keeping you posted about the progress and asking you for suggestions what kind of spirits you want to be in the first series. But as always, for now, stay safe, and I love you and I leave you. Bye bye.